rolling out some new controls that are more granular that allow you to decide who exactly can message you, but you'll be able to manage your messages from one app should you so choose. And we think that's critically important, and we also think it's critically important that people have control over their experience.
For more information, please visit the Facebook newsroom at about.fb.com/news.
The Food and Drug Administration issued a warning for a recall from Ashtel Studios due to misbranding of hand sanitizer packaged in pouches. Last month, poison control officials warned parents about a hand sanitizer product packaged in a pouch that a child could mistake as a snack. In the era of COVID, more and more employers are telling their workers they can work remotely. USA Radio Network's Val Dior explains.
Microsoft said on Friday it would allow most of its employees to clock in up to half their weekly working hours remotely, providing greater flexibility even after offices start reopening. The software maker said in a blog post that while returning to office is optional for most employees for now, Microsoft was not committing to having every employee work remotely. The Redmond, Washington-based company had about 163,000 full-time employees as of June. For USA Radio News, I'm Val Dior.
This is USA Radio News.
Working from home? I'm Chad Dodd, veterinarian and consultant to Limp Bells. Here are some tips for keeping your dog fit while staying at home.
What is that, Route 44?
Find 15 minutes twice a day and walk your pet at a decent pace.
I'll look that up real quick.
Play hide and seek by hiding some kibble or favorite toys and letting your dog find them. If you have stairs and your dog is mobile, walk up and down twice a day for 5 to 10 minutes. Or better yet, try a power walk on your terrace or backyard for some fresh air. There are more helpful pet care tips at youmove.com. Spelled youmove.com.
A supporter of President Trump was shot and killed, and a local news station's private security guard was in custody Saturday evening after protests between opposing groups turned violent in Denver's Civic Center Park. Police saying the man who was shot was part of a pro-police patriot rally. The Denver Police Department also saying on Twitter, further investigation has determined the suspect is a private security guard with no affiliation to Antifa, although he is a registered Democrat and has been at pro-Antifa rallies. There were many important issues discussed in the vice presidential debate, but most of the talk from American voters centered around the fly that landed on Mike Pence's head. USA Radio Network's John Clemens has the story.
There's been so much buzz about that fly, the National Bobblehead Hall of Fame and Museum has decided to create a new one.
Are you sure it's October of 2020?
So many people have been talking about. Phil Sklar is from the National Bobblehead Hall of Fame and Museum.
Just released the Mike Pence fly bobblehead, and all everybody seems to be talking about, and so we thought, hey, let's throw it out there and see if people want a special bobblehead to commemorate the unique moment during the vice presidential debate with the fly on his head and a removable mini fly sweater on the desk.
For the USA Radio Network, I'm John Clemens.
For USA Radio News, I'm Tim Berg.
It is 2019.
Oh, okay.
The opinions expressed on this program
are
those of the host and do not express the views of WVVF ownership or Hometown Talk Radio. Content aired on all programs are those of the host and their guests.
7-0.
Hey, Joey, what's happening? I mean, what's happening in Middleboro and surrounding towns? It's time for the Middleboro Week in Review with your host, Joey Driscoll. Stay tuned for news, Middleboro News, here on AM 1530 WVBF. Hey, Joey, what's happening?
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Middleboro in Review for October the 11th, 2020. And before we begin today's program, we just want to mention the passing of Eddie Van Halen. Passed away this week at the age of 65. Passed away on October the 6th. The legendary guitarist of Van Halen. He's worked with other great musicians like Michael Jackson, Sammy Hagar, Brian May, and LL Cool J. He'll be missed. What are your thoughts on this, Don?
I think his guitar. First of all, it's a shock to the music community, big time. We knew he had the cancer, but you don't know until. It seems like a lot of people have died this year for some reason. With this COVID-19 backdrop, it's kind of creepy. But he's going to be way missed. And it's funny about how Eddie Van Halen and Van Halen pretty much got the people. Because it's funny that growing up, I listened to the harder music, the heavier music growing up. And I've always liked it. But the people who really didn't care for the heavy screaming guitars liked the Van Halen. For some reason. And it was pretty heavy, right?
Van Halen, yeah. There's some heavy Van Halen songs.
Heavy riffs. So I consider Van Halen a hard rock band.
Yeah.
Period. Not pop, hard rock. But it's funny because there's people out there who love Eruption, that guitar solo, but can't listen to any other heavy metal bands out there. Even hard rock bands like Floyd or Zeppelin, Sabbath, all these other bands. But they can listen to Van Halen. There's something to do with Van Halen that just attracts the masses. His guitar style everyone liked. I had a friend of mine, and I said, look, things get crazy, just put something heavy on, and you'll think about something else. And I got one of those text messages, and what was on it? Eruption. Okay, so that was my friend's out, but that particular friend doesn't like the heavier music.
Yeah.
But they played, I heard Eruption, so it's Eddie Van Halen that really centers everybody. That's all I can really say about that, because he's just tremendously talented individual. The Van Halen was the band.
Yes, from the first album to Fair Warning to the last album, A Different Kind of Truth, it's all amazing.
Even the Van Halen with Sammy and one album with Gary Sharon.
Yeah.
Okay, so they were really good, and his son Wolfgang got a chance to play with his father the last few years from Van Halen. I have a friend of mine, his name's Dave. We call him Diamond Dave because he loves Van Halen. He pulls up with Dave, right?
Yeah.
He comes in. He's got the bandanas on his guitar like Eddie always would do, and he just So I'm sure he's missing Dave. I'm sure Dave is missing Eddie Van Halen big time too. I haven't talked to him since then, but I'm sure he's in mourning. But it's funny because, and you asked, and I'm talking here. I just think he just was able to reach a wide variety of people. Even the people who didn't like the heaviest. I grew up in the 70s, hard rock era. Foghat, BTO, Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, Scorpions, all that stuff I grew up listening to.
Yep.
Other people didn't. They were 80s, There's the 80s music like, I don't know, Culture Club. You know the names of some of these,
Yep, Culture Club.
Yeah, people that grew up listening to that kind of music in the 80s embraced Van Halen. You never thought they would. It's a big jump. But I know a lot of people who grew up listening to that music loved Van Halen, but didn't like any of the other bands I mentioned, harder bands. So it's weird how he just happened to grasp everybody. No other player, in my opinion, has ever done that. I don't know. What's your thoughts, Joe?
Yep, my thoughts is this week I went on Amazon and I bought one of my favorite Van Halen albums, and that's Fair Warning. I'm going to be listening to that once I get the album. It's a great album, Fair Warning, and I'm going to be listening to that once I get it. In a celebration of Eddie Van Halen's life. We lost him this week on October the 6th at the age of 65. So, weather for today. Still, the sun's coming up here.
Yeah, where's the sun?
It's 7 7:13 a.m.
These dark mornings are a drag. I don't like them.
Right now it's cloudy and 61 degrees in Middleboro, with a high of 62. So we're at the high, pretty much, for the day. 55 tomorrow in rain, and 63 on Tuesday and rain. So the next 2 days, we're expecting a little bit of rain. In Taunton, 59 degrees currently, 63 for the high, and the next 2 days in Taunton will be rainy. Driscoll, North Dakota, 62 degrees currently, with a high of 67 for today. Monday and Tuesday, 62 and 60 respectively. And in Driscoll, Texas, currently foggy, 72 degrees, 97 for the high. So it is still very hot. Not as hot, but it is still very hot. 97 degrees. And the next 2 days, 95 and 92.
In Driscoll, Texas.
Yes, in Driscoll, Texas.
I think when you say that, you have to say that, like, at the end of it. Let people know, because someone just turning on the radio, say 94 degrees, you got, looking out the window, they got their sweater on, and like, oh, it's not gonna be 94. You go to the beach.
Yeah.
So I think it's important. I mean,
absolutely, yeah.
It's a little thing that you report on Driscoll, North Dakota, but you always do Driscoll, Texas last, but it's always good to say Driscoll. That's Driscoll, Texas.
Yeah.
Not here in Middleboro.
Absolutely.
Not here in Taunton. Okay, you gotta go to Texas for the weather.
All right, so we're going to take a quick break here, a few minutes early. When we return from our commercial break, we're going to talk about the St. Vincent de Paul food pantry in St. Vincent de Paul itself. They're having the Giving Tree program that is going to be starting up, or actually has started, for the holiday season. So we're going to talk about that. We have some other great subjects to talk about. We have some South Coast Rail talk as well. So there's a lot of great things going on as well around Middleboro. So we'll be right back here on Middleboro Review, 1530 AM, 99.7 FM. We're also on WVBF Audio Now, 605-562-7958. You can listen to us on TuneIn, WVBF 1530 AM. The YouTube channel, which is Middleboro in Review, all lowercase. You can listen to us there. And also on the Facebook page, Middleboro in Review. Type in Middleboro in Review on Facebook and you will find us as well. So, we will be right back. And you're listening to the October 11th edition of Middleboro in Review here on WVBF. $7.17.
Spark Street Auto Body, located at 48 Spark Street in Brockton, Massachusetts, offers the highest quality collision repair and complete auto service for your car. They are a direct repair shop for all major insurance companies. You should reach them at 508-583.
Yeah, I'm coming out of the break.
They're open Monday through Thursday, 8 to 5, and 8 to 4 on Fridays. Call them today. You will not be disappointed. 508-583-1495.
Combat Veteran Motorcycle Association is an association of combat veterans from all branches of the United States Armed Forces who ride motorcycles as a hobby. Our mission is to support those who have defended our country and freedoms. Our focus is to help veteran care facilities provide a warm meal, clothing, shelter, and guidance, or simply to say thank you and welcome home. We have have members from nearly all 50 states and living abroad. Many members continue to serve
Food
in our
pantry
armed forces,
one
with several serving in
last.
combat areas now.
So it'll be a
We
nice
sponsor
little
and
smooth transition
participate in many motorcycle-related
to our
charity
next
events
topic.
each year. And as a nonprofit organization, donate to various veteran care facilities and veteran charities. To learn more about the Combat Veteran Motorcycle Association and how you can join or support, please visit cvma2-2.org.
Hi, this is Ray Brown, inviting you to tune in to Talkin' Birds, a show about wild birds, birding, and conservation, right here on WVBF, broadcasting from the Taunton Federal Credit Union studios at 14 Church Green. Join us for informative interviews and fun information about birds and birding. It's Talkin' Birds, Saturday mornings at 8 and Sunday mornings at 9, here on WVBF, AM 1530 and 99.7 FM.
Hi, this is Jim Larkin. Hope you can join me every Sunday from noon to 2 o'clock here on WVBF, The Sounds of the Emerald Isle. We'll have some great Irish music, some folk, traditional, country, and contemporary, and sometimes some live singers in the studio, and to make you laugh, some Irish comedy. That's Sundays from noon to 2 right here on WVBF, 1530 Taunton, Middleboro, and on the internet at hometowntalkradio.com.
St. Vincent de Paul of Sacred Heart Church in Middleboro serves the residents of the towns of Middleboro, Lakeville, Carver, and Rochester. Our main source of aid to families in these communities is the food pantry. Open twice weekly on Wednesday and Saturday, clients can visit the pantry once a month and shop for their groceries. The pantry is open to everyone during the pandemic. Anyone affected by the COVID-19 crisis is welcome to register as a client with no income thresholds. To register by phone, just call 508-947-1717 and leave a message by selecting option 1. Your call will be returned by a volunteer who will add you to our list of clients. For the homebound or others who are self-quarantined, we will shop for you and deliver the groceries directly to your door. During the pandemic, we've taken all necessary precautions for the safety of clients and volunteers and have managed to remain open throughout the crisis.
And we're back here at Middleboro in Review for the 11th of October. And as you just heard there, the St. Vincent de Paul Food Pantry PSA. We have a little bit to talk about with St. Vincent de Paul. The holidays are coming soon. We're into October. It's October 11th. And now is the time to sign up for this year's Giving Tree program, sponsored by the Society of St. Vincent de Paul. Sign-ups began on October the 3rd. The Giving Tree program offers assistance to struggling households living in Carver, Lakeville, Middleboro, and Rochester. The program provides Christmas gifts of clothing and or toys for eligible children from newborn through high school. Chairperson Arlen White is working with a group of volunteers to provide for over 700 gift recipients this year. The plan is for each child to receive 3 gifts of clothing, games, or toys. The Giving Tree program is community-based and depends on local businesses and individuals to help sustain it. Area businesses from each of the 4 towns support the program by requesting gift tags to display on Christmas trees. Businesses can also distribute tags to employees or patrons who choose to help sponsor a child by purchasing the gift item listed on the tag. The restrictions of the current pandemic have added new features to the program. Many employees are now working from home and may not be able to get a tag from their company. They are encouraged to donate to the program to fund the gifts. Sign-ups for the Giving Tree will be conducted at the Sacred Heart Food Pantry located at 53 Oak Street, Middleboro. They will continue on Saturdays from 8:30 to 10:30 a.m. on the first and third Wednesdays of the month from 8:30 to 10:30 a.m. and the second and fourth Wednesdays from 4 to 6 p.m. and registration will end on November the 21st. Eligible applicants must provide a personal ID, proof of guardianship, birth certificate for each child, and proof of residency, such as utility bill, bank statement, or similar document dated within the last 60 days. All applicants are asked to bring a list of suggested gifts and size for each child. Families participating in other Christmas gift programs are not eligible. Businesses and individuals wishing to make contributions may contact the Giving Tree phone line at 508-658-0114. When mailing a donation, it should be sent to the Society of St. Vincent de Paul, P.O. Box 1381, Middleboro, MA 02346. Please put the Giving Tree program in the memo space. So this is a important time of the year, a holiday season. Definitely a time to really give to people who are in need, and the Giving Tree program is a really great way to do so. To give gifts to people who are in need. Don, what are your thoughts on this?
Again, the food pantry reaching out, doing so much good for the community. They just keep pulling out the stops, I think. They never plateau. They always keep trying to do one better and help people. And
especially during the holiday season.
During the holiday, people, it's going to be tight for a lot of people. This is the first, Christmas season, with the pandemic. A lot of people have been laid off, out of work. Things are tight. And I think Christmas is going to be different for a lot of people.
Yes, absolutely.
I think, and not, not thinking about their situation, but maybe Christmas will be a little bit more Christmassy, not as, I don't know, what would you say, materialistic?
Barry Sanders touched on this yesterday on how how Christmas might be different for a lot of people, and also Thanksgiving and Halloween. He talked about that, how different it would be.
Well, maybe getting back to the basics of what Christmas is all about is more family.
Yeah.
Not that big, widescreen TV I gotta get for my husband, or they don't have it. Which hurts the retailers, I understand that. But if you don't have the money to blow on Christmas for all these gifts, it's going to be more, we all get a tree, we all spend time together, modest gifts maybe, dinner with the family, Christmas carol. You can Christmas carol like from the sidewalk, right? You don't have to go to the people's doors. You can Christmas carol COVID-19 times.
Yep.
People feel a little bit better. I was delivering oil. This had been about 2000. This is a long time ago. So 2006 or 2007. I was in Hingham, and I was working kind of late. It was cold. It had been about 6:30 or even 6. It's dark early, and I just made a delivery. Just trudged through 2 feet of snow. I was getting there and just getting ready to. Looking at my rest of my, I had 3 stops left, and I was looking at how much I had for oil. And then I look over to my drivers, and there's about 12, 15 people singing Christmas carols. I think they had 3 or 4 songs on the oil truck. There's a music place in Hingham. It's called Conservatory Hill in Hingham. So they were hitting their neighborhood. And that was really nice. because I'm sitting there, ready to go on my next stop, and I look over, and there they are, 12 people, and they did 4 songs for me. And it felt good, because I'm out there delivering oil, and, lonely, it's just, it's cold, and you got to get the oil to the people. I wish I was home, like with you guys, hanging out, doing our Christmas thing, but in some jobs, you need to get the oil out. If there's snow and ice, obviously you got to be working late because you can't move as fast in those conditions. But it was a nice feeling that they did that, the Christmas Carol. Because I was sitting there in my truck and they did like 4 songs. It was great. It made me feel great. I was like beaming the rest of the night. I was so happy. So that was great, and I really think back. That was my Christmas gift to me. That was the best Christmas gift I got that whole season. Other than getting the flu 2 weeks later, but hey, we won't talk about that.
If anyone has any thoughts to add about what we're talking about, 508-822-1106 is the phone number to call us, to call into the show. If you have any thoughts to add.
You don't want to call this our Christmas show? No? Not yet?
Oh, no, not yet. Not yet. We still got to get through Halloween. We still got to get through Halloween and Thanksgiving.
I think a lot of people are, looking for Christmas. They're looking for that spirit in their heart.
Yeah.
It's been a tough year.
We gotta get through Halloween.
A lot of emotions out there. So.
We gotta get through Halloween. We gotta get through Thanksgiving. The annual Alice's Restaurant listening.
Yeah. Yes.
On the radio stations.
12 o'clock.
12 o'clock,
Yeah.
and I believe 4 o'clock was the other one, right?
Yeah, ZLX does it. But
Yeah.
BCN started it.
BCN was the one who started it.
Started it. I'm not sure when they started it, but I think they started like in the 70s.
Yeah.
And it was funny too. AAF played it, and
I,
they were always a heavier
yeah.
radio station. And they says, "Is it?" And I was listening to a DJ. And he's like, "This is the only time you'll ever hear folk on this station. The one and only time. Next time you'll hear is probably a year from now when we play the song again."
Yeah.
It was so funny, but they all take the time to respect the song, respect Al Guthrie, and
Yeah.
it's an institution.
Yeah.
Alice's Restaurant. It really is. It's just, and half of it's not even about Thanksgiving. It's all about everything else he's talking about. Al Guthrie just rambles on.
Yeah.
If you ever have a chance to listen to Al Guthrie on YouTube, type in on YouTube if you want, Amazing Grace. There's a story behind that too. You've heard that, right?
I've heard that, yeah.
Yeah, it's just, he talks about his, he bought the old church, up Alice's Restaurant church he talked about, and turned it into a cultural center. And they do a lot of good. And this was in 1991 when he bought it, so this recording was 1992, so you're talking how many years ago?
Yeah, and he has other amazing songs as well. Motorcycle Song is a good song. City of New Orleans is a good song.
Oh, that's a classic.
Yeah.
I don't think he wrote that, but it was. Everyone's done that. Willie Nelson, everyone's done that. I think Johnny Cash has done that. That song, a lot of artists have done that song.
Yeah. There's one other one that I'm trying to remember.
In My Darkest Hour.
That's a good one.
Really great song.
There's another one I'm trying
Coming
to
into
remember.
Los Angeles.
Yes, that's the one I was trying to remember. Yes. That's a really good one too.
Yeah, the motorcycle songs. I like it. Kind of, I don't know. It's kind of silly. It's a silly song, the motorcycle song.
If you ever have a weekend, go down to West Stockbridge area.
Yeah, it's an,
there's a church there, the cultural center.
Yeah, it's on Route 41 in what's that? What's that town? So
Northbridge? Is it Northbridge?
No,
it's not Northbridge.
No, I'll get back to you on that one. I kind of forgot the name of the town.
It's not Northbridge.
Yeah.
No, that's Northbridge is. I don't know if that's in the area.
The song is related around Stockbridge, Mass. But the church is down in Great Barrington on Route 41.
Yeah.
Right outside Great Barrington. Is it technically in Great Barrington, the church? It was an old church, and he bought it, and now they have, who knows with COVID-19 what's going on now, but I'm sure, I don't know, I'm sure they got something limited going on maybe, right? And here's an old VW microbus, but it's not an old. I was hoping he could have got a newer one. It looks like an 85 out there. And I was like, oh, you need like to find a 1967 one, the one you had in the movie.
Yeah.
Because he drives around, I think, a 65 or a 6, so Alice's Restaurant, the movie, is a good movie too.
Yeah.
So
It's great.
It came out in '69, but it's just it's kind of a weird movie. I mean, it's just the movies back then were kind of trippy and so. But we got sidetracked on how Guthrie, huh?
All right.
See, there you go. You think of the holidays. We're thinking Thanksgiving. We're thinking about the traditions that me and you always have done, and we've always sat and we always went to and it's too bad the football games aren't going to be playing. I don't think there's going to be no football for Thanksgiving. I don't think.
Yeah.
Be the first time since you were 7? We haven't gone to a football game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll do. See if we can find last year's football game. Actually, no, last year was the first time we didn't go to a football game. We did, technically. But you MC the football game.
Yes, I was
play-by-play.
play-by-play.
You and Ed Red did the Middleboro and Carver game.
Yep.
So I was there in the bleachers. And
Yep.
you were
In Middleboro. It was in Middleboro.
In the box there.
It would have been in Carver this year. So the next time they have it will be in Carver.
Hopefully next year.
Yeah.
But that was pretty good that you did that, and I was listening because you were worried because you never did that before. You were with Ed Rand.
Yeah, I was
awesome.
worried.
Ed Rand's awesome at that.
Yep.
Ed Rand, he's the man. You know what I mean? He's been at radio forever. He's the one who taught you. He's the one you replaced Ed on Sundays, and he was your teacher. He pretty much got you going, and then everybody else at WVBF pretty much helped you along too.
Mm-hmm.
And it was play-by-play, and I think you learned the valuable lesson: less is more.
Yeah.
You just came in right. You didn't try to overdo it. You didn't clam up and say nothing. You just said it right at the right time. And I was listening to it. I sat here while you played the game. You came back. We rushed back to the VBF studios, and I think the game was because Tony and Dominic. Was Tony or Dominic, or was Tony?
I think it was Tony and Dominic were doing the other game.
Yeah, we did the bridge, and they did that live. So we came back, and then you put this on, and we were sitting here for a couple hours at the studio. That was the best Thanksgiving I've had in my life.
Yep.
Believe it or not, sitting in the VBF studios, listening to my son do play-by-play. So
it was a fun experience.
It was a fun experience.
And I hope to get to do that again sometime.
Oh well,
it's a fun experience.
It was great that Tony asked you to do it, and I think if we didn't have the pandemic, we would have had a lot of. I think VBF was in line to for the Paw Sox. I think, weren't they?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm not 100% sure.
Not 100% sure either, but I think so. Yeah.
You would have been busy. It would have been a busy summer doing that.
Yeah.
Busy enough here already.
So speaking of the Paw Sox, they are now the Woo Sox, Worcester. The Ric Flair incoming sponsorship is coming. The Woo Sox. I won't be surprised if during their first year they sign up to do like a sponsorship with Ric Flair. That would be a good decision.
Yeah, that's
just the name itself.
Well, he's just been doing that forever, right?
Yeah. All right, 7:37.
Oh yeah, you got one more announcement?
Yeah, we got an announcement.
No, yeah, but you want to thank somebody?
We want to thank Spark Street Auto for renewing for another 3 months. They're going to be sponsoring the show for another 3 months.
I think they've been over about a year now. They've been sponsoring the show, haven't they?
Yeah.
It's their fourth time signing up. So yeah. Thank Jeff.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much, Spark Street Auto. And you can visit them Let me get their hours and where you can find them as well. You can find them. And
it's like any place. You pull into a place, and the place is immaculate and clean, landscaped. There's not, especially like an auto body industry.
Yeah.
All the junk vehicles that have wrecked are out back, out of sight, out of mind. The parking lot's clean. That's who you want to do business with.
Yep,
because they're clean about themselves.
They are located at 48 Spark Street in Brockton. They are open on Monday at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
And you can also give them a call at 508-583-1495.
Yeah, great place.
All right, 7:39. We're going to take another commercial break. When we return, I think we're going to talk a little bit about the South Coast Rail, or we have some news pertaining to that, a new station in Fall River. So we're going to talk a little bit about that when we return here on WVBF 1530 AM 99.7 FM, Middleboro in Review for October 11th, 2020. We will be right back. All right, good stuff. 7:40. Good. Chugging right along.
Williams Trading Post, in its 71st year of business, is the place to go to get everything you need for your garden and the place to go for antiques. At Williams Trading Post, you can get pumpkins, mums, fall annuals, and much more fall plants and antiques. Call them today at 508-947-1598. Again, the number is 508-947-1598. You can also visit them at 556 Wareham Street in Middleborough, Massachusetts.
Everything on Southwest Rail is old that I got.
What?
Hi, this is Chris.
There's
Morning Wake Up News on WVBF.
We got
beginning at 7 a.m. weekday morning.
something that came out this week about groundwork being laid for Fall River Depot train station.
I also liven things up.
Talk a little about that. I think that's South Coast Rail. So we're gonna talk about that.
Our Daily Bread, the legal report with attorney Amy E. Feldman, a checkup on health, and a report on your pet's health as well. Jet Williams will bring you the stories behind the scoreboard with Jetstream Sports, and the USA Radio Network has the latest world and national news. So please join me Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. for the Morning Wake Up News. It's all here at AM 1530.
I thought the one you played last week when you mentioned Chaz Allen.
Yeah.
We are your hometown
I know.
station.
Combat Veteran Motorcycle Association is an association of combat veterans from all branches of the United States Armed Forces who ride motorcycles as a hobby.
Have you heard from this guy lately?
Is to support those
I
who have
gotta
defended
call
our
him.
country and freedoms. Our focus is to help
got stuff
veteran
going
care
on now.
facilities.
Yeah, I gotta call him.
Meal, clothing, shelter.
I gotta give him a call.
Or simply to say thank you and welcome.
Is this his
home.
voice?
We have members from nearly
yes.
all 50
That's him.
states and living abroad. Many members continue to serve in our armed forces, with several serving in combat areas now. We sponsor and or participate in many motorcycle-related charity events each year, and as a non-profit organization, donate to various veteran care facilities and veteran charities. To learn more about the Combat Veteran Motorcycle Association and how you can join or support, please visit cvma2-2.org.
What are you coming back with?
What?
What are you coming back with? The South Coast Rail?
South Coast Rail. Alright, welcome back to Middleboro in Review. October 11th, 2020, 20 days before Halloween. Alright. South Coast Rail. We got some new news about that. We have groundwork being laid for Fall River Depot train station. There's going to be something that's going on. Last week, work crews demolished a 106-year-old industrial and commercial building at 61 Pierce Street to make room for a parking facility. They also, during the summer, knocked down a smaller commercial building at 825 Duval Street at the same 1.5-acre site. Demolition work is preparing for building a train station called Fall River Depot, which was the name of a station at the same site until 1958. 1958. Had been part of an earlier version of Boston to Fall River commuter rail service. More than 200 parking spaces are planned for the Pierce Street lot that sits between Duval and Dyer Streets. The existing secondary train tracks are above street level and depend on bridges to cross both President's Avenue and Pierce Street. The work being undertaken at Pierce Street lot is part of $159 million 3-year contract awarded to multinational construction company Sakanska AB of Sweden and Acushnet-based D.W. White Construction, Inc., the latter of which is handling a demolition. The layover yard will sit on a large parcel between North Main Street and the Taunton River that had been a part of the now defunct Weaver's Cove fuel storage property closer to Route 79. The new commuter rail line linking Boston's South Coast Station to Fall River, Freetown, New Bedford, and Taunton via Middleboro will be operational before the end of 2023, officials have said. Once the system is in full swing, a total of 13 commuter trips per day will likely pass through Fall River. The existing freight rail line is still used by Mass Coastal, a subsidiary of Cape Rail, Inc. So this is pretty exciting news. There's work being done in Fall River on a new station. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, but you wonder if the bus is going to be quicker.
Again, South Coast Rail is set to be done by 2023.
Well, you know what? That part isn't a total waste of time, because they can connect if they ever decided they want to run the line up through Taunton from Stoughton into Easton. At that point, that line, that particular line, does definitely connects with those lines down there. So I mean, those aren't a waste of time. But I mean, as far as the B line to Boston, the right way would have been to go up through Taunton, through Easton, Stoughton that way, and they were thinking about electrifying the line. And I think a lot of people. I know there was a vote in the state legislature, and it was shot down. But I know some few people who were for the electrification of the line coming through Taunton, and I think those trains move faster, and I think just the whole idea of electric trains in Taunton, Fall River, it's just a whole different avenue as far as the city booming, the city just being, it's on the network, it's on the grid. Every city that's on the grid is something as far as the Northeast Corridor. So, and I know they got some electrification to Harrisburg, but this would be something, and I know they have that in New Jersey too in some lines, but electric trains down there would be unbelievable. Taunton would be a boom town. Fall River would be a boom town. New Bedford would be a boom town. These towns have so much potential for growth it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And the tax revenue, the tax base going to this area. That's I know there's some people arguing for that in the state legislature, and it got shot down, whatever, and they went with what, and just I can't see a 2-hour ride from Fall River to Boston. It's just I just can't see that.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. You're not moving forward. 100 years ago, you can get to Boston faster. 100 years ago.
You can get to Boston fast now if there's no traffic by car.
It really hasn't been much traffic, and I don't think we're going to see the traffic. I think a lot of companies are doing a lot by home, and
yeah, I don't think we're going to see a lot of the major traffic come back for a while.
I don't think we're going to see, even with COVID-19 gone, vaccine, whatever. You're not going to. I don't think people are going to put up with the subways being bumper to bumper, being in the subways, breathing down. I don't think people want to do that anymore.
That's something to mention too.
I mean, because COVID's gone, but you still have the flu, you still have everything else, and people are more aware of that. They don't want to get sick.
Yeah.
No one wants to get sick anymore. So, I remember, you ever been on the subway with me when it was rush hour?
Yes,
really
it's tough.
Remember how the red line used to be?
Yeah, it's tough.
You just no room. You're stuffing people in like sardines.
Yeah.
You can't, people, and that's no way to travel.
No, of course not.
There's no way to travel like that. Everyone's got to go to work, and they're stuck, and they stand for 40 minutes while they don't. And then there's the constant delays and signal delays and stuff like that. Really?
Yeah.
People put up with it because it was the norm. Now, you think people are going to want to come back to that? Being cooped up like that?
No.
So, I don't know. But, again, we talk South Coast Rail, the whole idea that the electrification down here. I mean, there's Mark pushed it. I know that. And I had a conversation with him, and he was absolutely right. Because why would you build something and be obsolete when it's open? If they had electric trains down here through Taunton, you kidding me? It'd be state of the art. You can get to Boston in probably a half an hour from here, probably, if they had electric trains, or 45 minutes, right in downtown Boston. Now, Taunton, places like Taunton, are a player with Boston because they're connected. You know, people aren't going to want to, okay, and then the station for Taunton is East Taunton, which is fine. I mean, but it's for mostly, but I mean, you want to connect the city centers.
Yeah.
The station would be right down the street. If there was a station, it'd be right at the crossing of 44.
I think it should be down the street. I think that's where it should be.
It's a 2-minute walk or 3-minute walk from the studios.
Yeah.
You could be at the Green. You could be downtown Taunton, and a 5-minute walk getting off the train.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
That's where it should be. Yeah.
That's how the downtown grows.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can go from your office building in Boston and go to another place, expand, maybe do an expansion of your business, and be able to send your people or have people come down and go back and forth and go right to Taunton Center via the train. You don't have to drive. You don't have to wait in traffic. You go to South Station. You know you'll be in Taunton in 45 minutes if you're on that train, or 40 minutes, and you'll be there fast.
Yeah.
And then back again. That's how economies grow. So, yeah. Sorry, you got me on my soapbox. What time? We out of time yet?
Nope, 7:52. We're gonna do today in history. We have two big today in histories. Major.
Big.
Historical, very historical.
How big?
Historical.
Like skyscraper big?
Pretty big.
Okay. Over 10 stories, right?
1968.
I'm sorry.
NASA launches Apollo 7, the first successful manned Apollo mission. Very historical. First successful manned mission of the Apollo missions. Huge. Very, very historical. Major date in NASA history.
The first of the Apollos, huh?
Yes, October the first successful manned Apollo mission.
Right, because they had the Mercuries before that.
Yeah. October 11th, 1968. Big day in NASA history. And also another big day, a sad day when it comes to the Polaroid Corporation. October 11th, 2001. The Polaroid Corporation filed for federal bankruptcy protection. This was the end of, or signaling the end of, a very, very influential company. Polaroid Corporation was very, very big, very popular. A lot of people used their products, cameras, videos, everything. They were big. Have you ever used a Polaroid?
It's funny. We used to have the cartridges, and you can get 15 pictures, and they'd pop right out.
Yeah.
Those are cutting edge. These pictures would be instantly developed, come right out. The pictures come out. I don't think you've ever seen a Polaroid camera like that. You know what I mean? You put the cartridges in, and then you take the picture, and in about 30 seconds it would develop.
Yeah.
And I had a construction company I worked for. Well, it was more of a it was a construction company, and we used to do houses, and I'd have to take a picture for the bank, before and after pictures when we do a clean out or whatever. And the guy Bob, who I worked for, he spent so much money on the pole. We have the cameras. He's like, make sure you got the cameras. Make sure you have film. So we're always buying film, and the film was expensive. That was back in 1988, 89, 90 when I worked for this guy. I can't believe all the places we always had to buy film. So everyone bought film like that because it's instant cameras, and people used it for everything. They use it for what you do now with the cell phones.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine what you got with your cell phone. You got a video camera, you got a camera, you can post, you can do anything you want now. I mean, just think about, and even if you paid like $1,000 cash for the phone, which you probably don't. I know my boss spent more than $1,000 on film in a given year to run his business. You know, it's before and after pictures, or just pictures, and that was just for business. Never mind pleasure. Never mind recreation too.
I don't think I've ever used a Polaroid. I might have. I might have used a Polaroid camera.
I don't think you ever. No, I don't think they were around when you were born. You were born in '99.
Yeah.
They were kind of around, but I mean, the smartphones. Before the smartphones were there, was all the digital cameras. Were big in the late '90s, early 2000s.
I've used a camera.
Sure.
I've used a digital camera.
But those Polaroid cameras were cutting edge, and everyone used them, and that's why Polaroid was so huge. And then technology took them out.
Yeah.
I don't think they kept up with the times. As far as they I mean, maybe they did, but they made so much money off of those Polaroid, the film off those by the Polaroid cameras, and then you just put the cartridge in.
Yeah.
And then I think, I don't know, maybe you had 25 pictures per cartridge. But they were big. It was a lot of money to buy that film, even back then.
A lot of businesses that were massive, were huge. Nokia, really not around anymore as much as they used to be. Borders, out of business.
Print.
Yeah.
Camera
print is
gone.
Yeah, camera, photos, and stuff like that.
My friend's
books.
Yeah, my friend's brother worked for a print company for 25 years, and he got laid off. Now he drives a trash truck. It's just the cell phone, the computer. That's how it is.
All right, we got birthdays to talk about. A couple of major birthdays as well. We have George Williams. He's an English philanthropist. He founded the YMCA, which is huge. There are several YMCAs all across the country. I think there are 2 in Middleboro. There's the YMCA next to the school, and then there's the YMCA campground as well in Middleboro. He was born in 1821, George Williams. 1835, Theodore Thomas, American conductor. He founded the Chicago Symphony Orchestra. Henry J. Heinz, American businessman. He founded the H.J. Heinz Company. 1884, Eleanor Roosevelt, American humanitarian and politician, the 39th First Lady of the United States. 1935, Dan Evans, American businessman, founded Cracker Barrel Old Country Store. There are a lot of Cracker Barrel stores and restaurants around the nation. And finally, legendary wrestler Dusty Rhodes was born on this day in 1945. Part of the Rhodes family. His son, Cody, owns a big wrestling company, AEW, All Elite Wrestling, that airs on TNT every Wednesday. And his brother, Dustin, is also in that company as well. He also was in WWE. Both of them were in WWE for a long time. Dusty Rhodes was in WWE for a long time, and also WWF for a long time as well. A legendary wrestler, Dusty Rhodes. He would have been 75 today. All right. That will do it for today's program. Hope you enjoyed today's program. Next week, October 18th, 2020, we're moving closer and closer to Halloween now, and next week will be the 18th, October 18th, 2020. Coming up next, we have Bread of Life, the Bread of Life program here for October 11th with Pastor Van Cross, and the program today is I Expect to Go Higher. That's the name of the program for today, and we will talk to you next week here on Middleboro in Review, 1530 AM, 99.7 FM. Have a great week, everybody.
Have a great week.
Bye, everybody.